The NFL owners meetings just wrapped up, and now we're going to go over everything that they covered. What rules were put in place, what changes were made, what discussions were had, and how we feel about every single one of them. Do we agree, feel like we're on the fence about this topic, or completely disagree and think the NFL is making a mistake? We'll get to those rules we all should hate, but first, undebatable, huge wins for the sport. The NFL has fired 10 of their referees. Well, they haven't fired them yet. They hired 10 new referees, which means 10 old referees are either getting fired or getting retired. And hopefully they're hiring young, technologically wise lads. Because also, along with hiring 10 new referees, the NFL has announced that they're going to expand the replay assist, which is a huge win for the sport. I think we should go full-blown AI robot refs. But for one, we're going to get the first down tech that we saw featured that could have been used in that Bills game where Josh Allen got that first down and got called short. That is now permanently in place. The cameras, the referees, the chain gang, all of that is all back up to mark first down or not. The ball will have a sensor in it that will say exactly when forward progress is stopped, where the ball was at that millisecond, and whether or not it's a first down or not. And then now the NFL can call into the refs and tell them when they've made a bad call. So if they throw a flag and it's clearly not a penalty, and everyone in the whole world is saying this is not a penalty, someone stop it, the NFL can actually call in and say, hey guys, that's not a penalty, we just checked it out, all angles, pick up the flag. I like the little details that they added to this, that they cannot actually call in and add a flag. Then we'd be overanalyzing every single play. Was there a holding penalty on any of the 5 offensive linemen? Was there a holding penalty on any of the 5 defensive backs in coverage? There's a line here that if we cross it, we're never going to get a play done without a penalty. But this is great. You still put it in the hands of the refs to make the call, knowing that they have replay backup. Something else I think is a unanimous win across the sport is the fact that we're permanently doing these weird kickoffs. Now I know it's a bit controversial and I'll let you know why this is a good thing for football. But first, one quick reminder. Hi, I'm NFLMike if we never met before. I'm an NFL content creator that creates NFL content 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and twice on Sundays. If you're an NFL fan, I know you love the channel. Make sure you subscribe before you forget. Turn on notifications for daily NFL uploads. Also, liking the video is the free way to support any of my content. Please like the video up. Try and get us to 25 likes, 30 likes, 50? What fans don't like is these new kickoffs. And I know it's because it's new. You're not used to it. I'm not either yet. And I even was watching it back in the XFL. But I'm telling you, football is more fun with the kickoff play. And the only way the NFL could bring the kickoff play back to life is if they back the kickers up like 30 yards or completely change the kickoff. The problem with the kickoff is a lot of concussions, a lot of head injuries, a lot of problems were being caused by the fact that these guys were asked to run full speed at each other and meet in the middle of the field. Also, teams just stopped returning it. They just started taking the touchback. But last year, when they tweaked the kickoff rules, you brought everyone closer together like a normal football play. So you're not running full speed and colliding with your heads first. We got 300% more kickoff return. If you're doing the math, carry the 1. That's more football, ladies and gentlemen. A lot more. And I'm never going to be against more football. I know, it looks weird. But it looked weird when they moved the goalpost from the front of the end zone to the back of the end zone. Trust me. It looked weird when offenses started throwing the ball like crazy. It looked weird when we made the extra points longer. But are the extra points more entertaining? Yes or no? Yes. Because you don't know that he's going to automatically make it every single time unless it gets blocked. And it's something that I was on the fence about, but have come around to. The 18-game season is inevitable. We will be adding another game probably this year, but if not this year, in 27 for certain. I think it's 99.9%. That's why you're seeing the salary cap jump up as much as it's been jumping up the last couple years. I think like 20 million per year for the last 3 seasons because they are getting ready. I think it was probably included along with the talks to add the 17th game. Eventually, this is going to be an 18-game season. The reason I've decided that I really love this, I was against it because I was like, how are you going to just ask these guys to just keep adding football games and where does this end? We're going to end up with a 25-game season at some point because greedy, rich people will just keep pushing the envelope one more game at a time. And none of the record books will matter anymore. I also think that we are at the limit when it comes to how much these guys' bodies can withstand. We see a lot of injuries in the NFL, and the NFL softened up compared to the past. So to keep adding games, I feel like you're going to keep seeing more teams that get to the playoffs without their quarterback. You're going to keep seeing more teams that get to the playoffs without their star wide receiver. We don't want to see that. That's not necessarily the goal. We want to see the best teams at their best, the healthiest make it to the end. And the more games you add, the less teams are going to be able to do that. It's just math. But the NFL is going to add a second bye week because of the international expansion. And this is the biggest reason why I am cheering the 18th week. What the NFL was going to do before with the 16-game season, even before they added the 17th game, was basically ship out an entire week of football to foreign markets, to foreign stadiums. Yes, the NFL wants to go global. They want to become a sport like the NBA. But at the same time, these owners don't want to lose games in their stadiums. These owners don't want to lose the ticket sales. These owners don't want to lose out on that profit. Me personally, from a fan's perspective, the Chargers are playing in Brazil week 1. I don't want to lose that game as just a fan of the Chargers and being a resident of Los Angeles, California, to Brazil. Add all of those games at the end. You have replacement games. Week 19, you replace all of those games that you lose to the international markets. You have an opportunity to play 16 extra games. And I think that's about how many international games there are next year. Might be a little bit less, but it's almost too perfect. I think the cap also raised to accommodate these guys traveling a little bit more. And like I said about the second bye week, they're going to put these bye weeks with the international game. So if you have an international game, you're either going to have the bye week before or after. And then one more thing that just goes towards the NFL trying to pass the NBA as the Globe's sport, which they probably are already doing. There was this beef with LeBron James and the NFL after the Christmas game. I think it was against the Golden State Warriors, and Steph Curry, LeBron said into the camera that Christmas is the NBA's day. Sorry, NFL. Y'all need to stop trying to run games over the top of ours.
Love the NFL, but Christmas is our day.
This is, of course, the NFL just playing one game on Christmas. Now they've announced that there is a permanent, full, Thanksgiving-like 3 or 4 game schedule on Christmas every year for the NFL. And if you think that anyone is tuning in to basketball over football, I'm sorry, man. It's just not going to happen. The NFL will wipe the NBA clean on Christmas. So much for that being your holiday. On top of it all, the Chiefs have requested to be the team, being their colors being red and white, being one of the most popular teams in the league, with LeBron, the star of the NBA, calling out Patrick Mahomes, the NFL. The Chiefs want to be Christmas's staple. They want to be Christmas's team. Like the Raiders are Black Friday's team, or like the Cowboys and the Lions are Thanksgiving's team. And sorry to the NBA fans because y'all are doomed. Lakers in 5, by the way. All right, let's go on to some rules that I'm a little bit on the fence about. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about the overtime rule change. I don't hate the removal of sudden death at this point completely. The rule change is, instead of it being sudden death, if the team that gets the ball first scores a touchdown, the other team will get a chance no matter what. That's what the overtime rules have been in the NFL, I think, for the past 2 seasons, since that Bills-Chiefs game that ended to a coin toss. But now those rules will be for the entire regular season, every single game in football. I like this because we're not going to see games just ended by a coin toss. But I dislike this in a sense that they're not extending the overtime period time limit. Still only a 10-minute overtime. Hypothetically, a team like the Lions, for example, in overtime, could run the ball. They could do their thing, run their little short drag routes, the easy stuff the Lions do, drive all the way down the field, have a 6-7 minute drive, score a touchdown. And then the Minnesota Vikings, who they're playing and went to overtime with because they're a great team too. JJ McCarthy goes to Justin Jefferson once, then Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson in the middle, Jefferson, touchdown, 2-minute, 30-second drive. Now we got 30 seconds left. Both teams matched each other. No one's going for 2. We tie. And that's going to happen a lot more. And we're going to have so many more ties. It's actually easier now to tie than ever. I think they should have extended it to 12 minutes. They should extend it to 15 minutes. And this rule may be perfected. We'll see. I think that there will be a team that ties more than once. Maybe even next year. I might bring up this topic and extend that time limit a little bit. Or if we run out of time, we do like a college, high school style overtime where you just start at the 20 and we just see who can't score a touchdown first. I don't know how to exactly perfect it, but I know I don't want to see more ties. I don't want to see any ties. There's 3 things, though, that were discussed at the NFL owners meetings that I'm completely against, and you should be too. The first one is delaying the vote on the tush push. Ban this play already. I know Eagles fans don't want to see it go. It's too unstoppable. It's almost a compliment. It's so unstoppable. The Eagles, on plays that this play is not ran 1 yard into the end zone, are averaging like 4 yards per carry on the tush push. They realize by math, that means they could never be stopped. And the few times you do stop them, they could just keep doing it and it won't be stopped again. Another stat that kind of shows that this play has broken the NFL. Everyone said that only Jason Kelce could run this thing and that once he retires that it was going to get exposed. A few times that it's been stopped short of the yardage to gain. I think 8 total times since Jason Kelce retired. They ran it again and got the first down, showing that if you practice it enough and you dedicate enough value to this play, that other teams could start to figure it out, guys. Because another center figured it out. You just need a strong-ass quarterback, a strong center, and 2 strong guys pushing him. The Eagles have converted 104 first downs off this tush push, scoring 238 total points I counted up in just the past 3 seasons. I mean, Jalen Hurts has 13 one-yard rushing touchdowns last season and only 18 passing touchdowns as a quarterback. And in that same time period, the Philadelphia Eagles have won 37 one-score games. And now it's won a Super Bowl. And that is the line. I know, again, Eagles fans would be pissed about this take, but Steelers fans were pissed when they changed the rules because Mel Blount was too unstoppable. I'm pretty sure Raiders fans were pissed when they got caught cheating and fumbling forward to win games, and they changed that rule. I'm sure Deacon Jones, an NFL Hall of Famer, was pissed when they removed his signature pass rush move from the game. They all were either dangerous, too unstoppable, and game-breaking. And that's what's happened to the tush push. If you're sitting here and telling me that you want all 32 teams to adopt this play, perfect this play because they know it's going to stay in the rule book forever, and that all 32 teams should get the same advantage that the Eagles have and sign players just to run the tush push and try and win the Super Bowl with it, and you want to see it ran all Sunday, red zone, over and over again, QB sneak into the end zone, QB sneak into the end zone. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want football to become that. Not at the high school level, the college level, or the NFL level. And when you break the game at a level that wins the Super Bowl, everyone's going to copy. You have to make an example of the play at the top NFL. I'm not saying remove the QB sneak. I'm just saying remove the element where they're allowed to push the quarterback. You can't push people from behind on the defense side of the ball. You can't push people from behind on the offense side of the ball. It's a loophole in the rule book. So let's close it. Jalen Hurts runs a typical QB sneak and never gets stopped. Hey, I'll stop complaining about it. And I'll just say Jalen Hurts is the best QB sneaker of all time. Something else that I absolutely hate, maybe the worst decision of the entire owners meeting. Actually, there's one more worse I'm going to get to in a second here. But the second worst one is the fact that they're going to be flexing 2 Thursday night football games in. Now, instead of having just 1 terrible Thursday night football game, they could decide to throw 2 on any given Thursday night. I'm done with Thursday night football. I don't know about you. They should just cancel Thursday night football in general. All this talk about taking over the NBA, give them Thursday night back. We are playing key games with rosters. They're either half injured or half on the field late in the season just to get that Amazon money, just to get them Amazon bucks. We're making these guys play on 3 days rest multiple times a season. I've seen time and time again head injuries happen on Thursday night football, actually. And when I saw this all happening, I made a video about this a few years ago. I went deep and did a deep study on concussions for a video. And in that video, I learned that over 50% of concussions in the sport of football, from high school to college to the NFL, are unreported. A lot of these guys get concussions, they feel the ding, and they just think that's a normal ding. Or they don't want to lose out on money, they don't want to lose out on playing time. This is their careers, this is their livelihoods you're talking about, and they just play through it and don't tell anybody. This happens so often. Like every single Thursday night football game, the chances of someone in that game not having a mild concussion on the game on Sunday, a couple days before, are low. We got 100 players total, 50 on each side. I think it's damn near impossible for an unreported concussion not to be on the field playing 3 days later. And the risk of playing 3 days after a concussion versus 7 days after a concussion is like 1,000x. We cannot sit here and continue to say that we care about NFL players' health and then have them go out there and play 2 football games within 3 or 4 days. That Amazon deal locks in Thursday night football. Now 2 Thursday night football games per week. Always the worst games of the week, by the way, because these teams are so banged up they can't use their full playbooks. I hate it. I don't hate it more than the fact that the Super Bowl is coming back to Viva Las Vegas. I don't like Las Vegas anymore. I don't like it being a football city now that the Raiders have moved there, and I don't like the Super Bowl going back there again. WrestleMania's there this year, and I'm not going to go because of that. And now they've announced that in 27, the Super Bowl's coming back just 2 years later. And I guess I shouldn't complain too much because they're coming back to LA again, even though they just had the Super Bowl here, and they're having the Super Bowl next year in San Francisco. But damn, man, no one wants it back in Las Vegas again, especially so soon. You could have waited like 7, 10, 15 years at least. There's so many cities that have never hosted a Super Bowl that deserve a Super Bowl. All right, y'all, I'm done ranting. That is the good, the bad, and the ugly of the NFL's owners' meetings that they annually go down to Florida and have every single year and discuss all these important things like this. Will these changes be good for the NFL, bad for the NFL? I don't know, but I guess sooner rather than later, the ball definitely won't lie.
Bill Flames, I went Mike on the mic. With something brand new, one time for your mind. He gave you fair warning. Now it's time to smack him in the mouth with that raw sports talk from the town. Sweet chin music to your favorite sportscaster.